the Bournemouth 2-0 win. Dom Solanke with a 60th minute goal and a 73rd minute goal. Big breaks for them. Newcastle, again, like Dylan mentioned with Brighton, I think they're suffering some midweek trauma at the weekend, essentially. Michael, you were the one on this panel that paid most attention or closest attention to it. What were your thoughts there? I know you love Big Dom, but what should our thought process be about both these teams?
I mean, this is another one that I think, like, we obviously can't do this. We have to call it, like, when we do the podcast. But seeing the starting 11s would have been really helpful, because the starting 11 of midfield, even Willock, Miley, and Longstaff, and then Hall at left back, Shar, Lascelles, and then Trippier. I'm sitting there going, you guys have to go away to Bournemouth with this team. Like, you're going to get cut apart, and they did. I mean, they were never close to scoring a goal. Bournemouth were pumping them 2.46 xG. I think it's weird. I think Bournemouth are not bad, and I think that if they can just catch a vibe right now off of this and catch, like, some momentum, I think they'll be above Fulham. I think they're better than potentially Nottingham Forest as well. And I think Newcastle, they're very streaky. They're a basketball team. They're going to put up 20 straight, and then they're going to get absolutely picked apart randomly. So, I don't know. I think they're going to struggle to get into Europe for sure, Newcastle.
I disagree with that. I think this is...
Let me hear it.
I'm just saying. I think it's a blip. They were missing 11 players. I think... At this
Wait. Did Trippier tell you that?
He did. I also read
He's
about
telling everybody.
He's a big Chelsea pod listener.
Yeah. It's more the fact that, like, obviously you have to get healthy. I think the story is outside of probably City, and I know we can make the argument of how things went today, but, like, outside of City, for even the good teams, there's depth problems. And as much as they wanted to say that they're working on their youth program and all that type of stuff, like, I'm sure what you're going to say of depth problems too, okay. But so ultimately, I just don't think they have the depth that shows that they can really compete for titles. I still think they can potentially push for Europe at some point. But, I mean, I think you hit on it before, John. Like, the Premier League, it's become any given Saturday, Sunday, Friday, or Monday. Like, at this point. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter who you play. Like, if you don't show up ready to play, one of the teams scrapping is going to come get you.
Yeah. It's why it's the best one. Do I hear a hot take that we maybe need to take down? Michael, Newcastle out of Europe, Dylan in Europe?
We might as well add it to our list since we have the Wolves above West Ham bet going right now.
Michael, you agree?
Wolves will not make Europe.
No, we're talking about
Newcastle.
Newcastle will be closer to Europe than you will be.
That's what I just said. The whole bet is you're taking Newcastle out of Europe. He's taking Newcastle in Europe.
Oh.
Because, you just said that they won't make Europe.
Yeah. Sorry, but then you brought up Wolves and West Ham, so I thought it was another matter of, like, who's going to get higher.
Michael, do you think that Newcastle is going to be in Europe, yes or no?
I understand it now. I'm explaining why I was confused. Yes,
okay.
I'll take that bet.
All right, perfect. Adding it to the hot take tracker.
Wait,
I do agree.
7th count?
Yeah, if they make Europe, it's Europe.
Is it, though? It's the conference. Does it count?
As a team that was technically would have been in the Conference League before it was created, yes, it counts.
Conference
fine.
might.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, I was gonna say conference might be a push. I do agree with Michael on one thing. I do feel like it's so funny. It's maybe crazy to say this. I think there's a gap between Bournemouth and the bottom three. Now, I don't know how big that gap is, but I do think Bournemouth at home, if they are feeling feisty and a little streaky, they are a better team than Sheffield United, Luton, and Burnley. I think those three teams would be.
I was going to be a dickhead and say, yes, the gap is 3 points right now. So.
But
I deserve it.
John, is this you saying that? Because I feel like last year and even 2 years ago, we were talking about it's so bunched up. There's so many teams. Do we think the relegation battle is going to be, we know the 3 teams, like, early on, it's just a matter of when? Like, we're just picking what day they're officially relegated?
I think it's more of, because I don't have, like, the crystal ball of the schedule, where it's like, I think the schedule is going to shake out in such a way that we will still have a relegation battle until the end of the year. But I think if I was a betting person, which I should be because I have a podcast and that's how you get sponsors, I think I would take Luton, Sheffield, Burnley 3 to get relegated right now, and I'd feel comfortable and pretty confident with it. And like I just think not going to change. Yep.
I'm trying. I know it was Derby County had the most or least points. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what match week that was because I would like to figure that out and see if we can put a little marker down. I think it's
when does the first team officially go down? Essentially.
Yep.
See, but that's the thing. I think the schedule is going to be set up in such a way that 17th place team will still be in the shouting distance of the 3 because you got to go. Every one of them has to go to all these City, Chelsea, wherever. But I think that like these 3, I don't think are going to move off the bottom now. And I never thought that about Burnley.
Did you see the stat? I think you guys did, but like for newly promoted teams, the 3 of them combined have like the lowest amount of points through like 11 games, but by like 25 points to the next. And unfortunately, the Wolves were part of that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to see that. Actually, when you have that, send it over. But that was one of my original calls. Is like the 3 teams that are going to get relegated this year will have the least amount of points of a bottom 3 ever. Because I just think it's so top heavy. I know it's not. I know it's not. That. Yeah, I know it's not. But it's like kind of playing in the same ballpark. In the same cul-de-sac. All right, big win by Bournemouth. We got to shout out to Craig when we get a chance. Dylan, floor is yours. 2-1. So, Nick, what did you say?
Match week 32, when Derby and Huddersfield were the 2 earliest relegated. After match week 32.
All right. Well, I'll have to think about that. I don't know if I want to throw that. Yeah, give it to me. Sooner than match week 32, one of these teams is relegated. I totally think that.